was playing 2K, and I'm finally in the starting lineup now. And
you don't play it that much, do you?
Nah, it's just, for one, the PS4 doesn't allow me to record the audio anymore, so now I basically just got to live stream the whole thing.
That's weird.
Yeah, it doesn't record the audio. So like, let's say if I didn't have my mic plugged in, it'll just be silent. It'd be no audio, nothing. So I can't really do the games I used to do, so I just live stream it now, and it's just, I'm just playing it now. Like, I literally could just play it and just get through it. Like, I think I'm about to just play it. I'm going to shut All-Star Weekend, and I think I'm going to go straight to the playoffs. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to show anything. Regardless of the storyline. Storyline doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, the storyline, though, but as far
it's not like how it was the last game.
As far as the gameplay for this, my career, I love this my career as far as the gameplay. The story sucks.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely
but I love this game.
I'll definitely give you that. I definitely would give you the gameplay wise. I don't know. I do like the story where they do make you more involved. Where you go to the gym, you go to see your agent more often. He'll tell you to come get your money. Obviously,
I like that. It just feels like it's a bunch of random cutscenes. It's not the story is not linear.
Exactly. Yeah. It feel like you can do. Well, you technically can do whatever you want. You don't have to play my career. You can play. You can just play the playground and get your badges and stuff. Yeah. You don't have to like play my career to do all that. You can do that by playing the playground. I played a little bit of playground. It's not that bad. It's just hard to play with people because people don't want to play with. Unless you're a 90, they don't want to play with you. They want to play with higher overall people.
The game ain't been out that long. It ain't that many 90s.
I see a decent amount of 90s. But I mean, that just tell you. That just tell you they ain't got a lot. They just playing the game.
Yeah, it's a few, but like whenever I go in there, I only see maybe 5 or 6 90s.
Right. Yeah. All right, we is live right now. We live. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, sitting here with my boy John. Another episode of Nerd Talk. We're gonna go ahead and get into this spoiler review for Thor. It recently just came out this Friday. I'm sure everybody has seen it already. It has a 90-some% of Rotten Tomatoes, so I understand why I haven't even went to go see it yet. And we're gonna talk about spoilers, but first I'm gonna give my dude John see what his initial thoughts on the movie. Since you guys, my review is up on the channel. I will put the little card up on the screen so you can link to that. I'll put the link in the description. But what's your initial thoughts on Thor Ragnarok?
Well, I saw it twice. I liked the movie the first time I saw it. I loved it the second time I saw it. It goes without saying it's the best Thor movie. It didn't feel like Thor 3. It felt like Thor Ragnarok 1. It was a perfect way to like usher in a new chapter in Thor's life. He's we'll get into the spoilers later, but things have changed dramatically as far as with Thor and Loki. It was definitely one of the funniest Marvel films. It may have been the funniest Marvel film. I can't.
It's up the par next to. I will say Guardians 2 is pretty funny, and Guardians 1 is pretty funny.
See,
I would say that you might be right on that one, but I have to go back and watch it.
The thing about Guardians 2 is that it was very funny, but about 2/3 of the way through the movie, I was laughed out. Not saying that it was like
some Guardians 2.
Yeah, it was so many jokes, and it was like I was humor fatigued. It's like, okay, just get on with it.
I give you that one. I definitely give you that, and I understand exactly. When I watch Guardians, but even with Thor, you done? You good with your review?
I'm good.
What would you rate it?
On a scale of 1 to 10. I gave it an 8.5.
I gave it an 8.5 as well in my review.
That's crazy because I haven't even watched your review yet.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.5 because that seemed like a perfect rating for this film, unless you're not into what they were trying to give you. We're gonna go ahead and get to some. This is now the spoiler section. If you guys haven't seen it, if you guys read the title, obviously it says spoiler review in the title, so I understand why you're gonna click on it. But what I really wanted out of this was exactly what I got. I didn't want even though Ragnarok is a pretty big thing, that's obviously the end of Asgard. But I was watching someone else review, and they said they didn't feel like it had that big emotional weight. When even Heimdall has said that Asgard is not, it's not about the place, it's about the people. Even Thor has said it in the film. Yeah, it's not about the people. It's about, I mean, it's not about the place itself. It's about the people, saving the people. Wherever the people are, Asgard is there. So that's the one thing I did like about it. And I really do agree. I agree with you as well. It is the funniest Marvel film. I did like Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is pretty funny, but this is definitely a straight comedy. But I wouldn't say it's a straight comedy though.
You know what? I would. I think it's a comedy just set to the backdrop of a superhero action.
Yeah.
I think at its heart it is a comedy
yeah.
through and through.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I like about this movie over Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Because it Guardians of the Galaxy 2 felt forced. They were like, okay, we did so well with the jokes in the first one.
We're gonna basically just do that times two.
Let's do overkill in the second one. They kind of overcompensated for the humor.
I didn't think you know.
But with Thor, the humor was at the heart of the story, so it felt natural rather than forced. There were a lot of jokes. It may have been just as many jokes as there were in Guardians Volume 2, but the difference is Volume 2 felt forced, Thor Ragnarok felt natural.
The one thing I could give you that too is that Guardians, it don't feel like it was a story it felt like it wasn't a cohesive piece. It felt like it wasn't a linear story. It felt like they were just trying to give you stuff.
Yeah, not a lot was happening.
Exactly. With Thor's, it's a lot of stuff is happening. Obviously, we have Thor is captured by what's the guy's name in the beginning of the movie when he's captured?
Searcher.
And he's talking to him, and that's the one thing when I looked at him. Like, I knew that like the writing was good when he had his first conversation with Surtur.
Which is Clancy Brown, by the way, Mr. Krabs.
Oh, that's who plays
Mr.
the
Krabs,
voice. That's pretty good. Just that scene alone, like he's spinning, and he's like, hold on. I'm coming around. Hold on, 1 second, because he's like, I feel like we're having a connection here.
So Ragnarok, tell me about that again.
And then it's like, did you feel like it was a little bit? Did you feel like it was forced when they started bringing out the music as well? Did you feel like it was like Suicide Squad, or like it was like Guardians where they brought out the music when he was fighting?
You know what?
It worked. I feel like it worked. It worked for me.
I'm biased towards that part because the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
I love that song. So
It's a very memorable song.
I was like a kid in a candy store.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never thought we were gonna get a hammer cam where basically we follow the hammer when it's hitting everybody.
Yeah, it was
like,
awesome.
I didn't think we were gonna get.
You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of The Matrix Reloaded.
When he's fighting all the Mr. Smiths. And then once after that scene, we go back to Asgard, and I love that they resolved the scene with Odin, because even though they made it a big cliffhanger, we knew that's not the main story what they wanted to give us. They wanted to kind of resolve that as soon as possible. So we get him going to Asgard, and he already knew that it wasn't his father. And that scene, when you see Matt Damon on that stage,
that was so random.
And you know,
that's
the guys playing Thor. That's the other Hemsworth brother. That's the third Hemsworth brother.
I know he looked like.
That's the other Hemsworth brother who plays Thor, and then obviously that's Matt Damon who's playing Loki. And I think the guy who played Odin, that's Sam. That's Sam Neill. I don't know his name.
I don't know if everybody knows the name of the third Hemsworth brother.
Put it in the comment section, because that's who playing Thor, and it's hilarious because it's funny because they do look like him. He looks strangely like Thor.
He looked like Chris
Hemsworth. Okay, that's a little funny. And I love the scene where he's like, he's tossing the hammer. He throws it first past his head, like he's gonna hit his head, and then he just tosses it and said, "The hammer will come to my hand regardless of it won't stop me. It won't stop me because your face is here." And that scene is hilarious because and then you have Carl Urban's character who's supposed to tell him that Thor is there, Thor is here. You gotta, stop. And he comes out and he's like, "You had one job.
To piggyback on what you said, I feel that this movie resolved actually a lot of I don't want to say issues, but a few plot holes and some cliffhangers that were left in previous movies, such as Odin.
Yeah.
Well, they explained that he was under Loki's spell.
Yeah. Yep.
Which kind of opened up another plot hole. If he could do that all along, why hasn't he done it already? Yeah. But that's a nitpick.
I'm sure that's just stuff they don't want to keep introducing.
Right, like I said, that's a nitpick.
I'm sure he's been able to do that, but he just didn't do it.
Yeah.
But even like we know he's a sorcerer, like kind of not like Doctor Strange, but he has magic like Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the scene where like you think you're some kind of sorcerer. And Doctor Strange just said, "Oh nope, we're gonna get you out of here."
Right,
I do agree with you. I do like that they kind of solved a little bit. Even with we're gonna go fast forward where Hela goes into Odin's treasure room and knocks over the things.
Yeah,
fake.
Yep.
That's fake.
Because people were saying that there were two Infinity Stones. I was like,
it's not. The other one's a fake one, just in case he tried to go get that one. But obviously, we already know Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet because he equipped it in Age of Ultron, at the end of the Age of Ultron.
Right.
So we know he already has it.
Yeah.
But they're going to change that again. He's going to kind of change it because the one that they showed us at Comic-Con is different from that one. It's more enhanced. It's more. It looks better.
I think that's just a visual retcon. I don't think it's a completely separate gauntlet. I think they just upgraded it just because.
Yeah, exactly. Just because they can.
But I think what's gonna happen with that is that the reason why there was a fake in Odin's chamber was because nobody knew where the real one was. So it was like, let's just put this decoy right here so people will feel safe.
And it's funny because like if it was the real gauntlet, Odin should feel like no one can touch him because he has an Infinity Gauntlet. He has the Infinity Gauntlet. But we obviously know it's not the real thing. Yeah. But going back into that, we find out Odin's been on Earth, and I ain't gonna lie, the scene with Doctor Strange, now the end credit scene that it's at the end of Doctor Strange, it makes sense. Cause I don't like when they do end credit scenes and they don't tie in, like kind of like on Thor: The Dark World when they have them give him the ether. We understand why they're gonna show the Collector and Guardians, but you never know that it's there or not. We never know that it's there. But with this one, with Doctor Strange, and it fits so well with the context of the story. The comedic timing, the everything. Like even when he's like, he has like, don't forget your umbrella. Oh yeah, and he's like, it's the hammer. And he's literally just breaking all the stuff.
Sorry.
And then even like, and my brother. Oh yeah. And he falls like, I've been falling for 30 minutes. That's hilarious, bro. I'm like, okay, that's dope. That's pretty cool, man.
That was one of my favorite like jokes in the movie was that. Sun's going down.
Yeah, you kept saying it. Sun's going down.
That was hilarious.
And I did like that because it ties into other movies. Because
there are a lot of jokes that tie in.
That's the last time we saw Thor was Age of Ultron. So we know that was Black Widow's thing. It's like, or the sun going down. It's okay. We hurt you. And going back to that, when they revealed the Hulk, okay, this is one thing that kind of hit me. Loki's been there, but we don't know how long he's been there. He's been there for a couple weeks though, right? And he's been fighting. The Hulk's been fighting. So you telling me Loki has never seen the Hulk fight the whole time? He said he doesn't know the champion. He said he heard the champion is ruthless, but he's never seen the champion. So
that could be explained one of two ways. Either Hulk didn't, because he said he was there for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, he's been there for long.
So either Hulk didn't fight for that entire 3 weeks, which is unlikely.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Or Loki just never bothered to be there because Thor wasn't there. That might have been the first fight he's seen when Thor showed up, because he said, I placed a large bet on you, don't let me down.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or against you, yeah.
So going back to that, I did like that, and I wanted what's your thoughts on Jeff Goldblum's performances. I had to rewatch it, and I absolutely loved it the second time. he's not even playing a character; he's being himself.
Right, he's just being Jeff Goldblum.
All right, we're gonna go. There's a scene where Thor in the chair and they're playing the Willy Wonka music. That's something Jeff Goldblum would do. And I'm like, that's totally Jeff Goldblum.
I thought that was brilliant,
man. You're meeting the Grandmaster. In 5 minutes, in 5 seconds, you're meeting the Grandmaster.
You're now meeting the Grandmaster.
And then he's just sitting there. And the camera pans on his face. Nothing but his face. He's looking like... And it's hilarious because it's Jeff
You know
Goldblum.
what? I was so upset because when I was...
I don't think they used him enough. I'm upset that he was only on the Sakar scene and that's it. We don't see him no more.
I agree. I was upset because when they played the Willy Wonka theme, I was the only one in the theater laughing. Like, none of you know where this music is from.
And it's funny because this is a non-earthly planet, far away from Earth. Why would they play a song that's strictly Earth based?
Right.
So it's kind of fun. That's where I thought. I'm like, this is an alien planet. Why are they playing with it? They know nothing about this.
Right.
And going back to Jeff Goldblum, like I said, there's a scene where he's talking to Thor. The next scene, he's DJing for no reason. He's just
literally for no reason.
I host the contest of champions. He's just doing and then he's talking. Loki's like, what are you whispering about? Like, it's hilarious. And they didn't notice he was right there the whole time while they're talking. Like, can you get me out of this? Get me out of this.
All right. Who was one of your favorite characters in the movie?
I do like the Hulk when before Bruce Banner comes out. I did like that, but I gotta give it to Tessa Thompson. I gotta give it to Valkyrie. She was a highlight to me. But what is the blue rock monster?
Thor.
He was a highlight to me as well.
He was one of my
His
favorite
comedic timing, like even when after they did the Get Help, him and Loki did the Get Help, and then he comes up, he said, "We're trying to get on this big ship. You want to come?" And his voice, he's supposed to be look menacing, but his voice, that's the director that plays him.
Yeah,
that's the director of the film that plays him.
Yeah.
And and people were saying, I'm like, nah, you're lying. And I looked it up, and it is him.
Yeah.
It just worked so well. But the one thing I didn't like was at the end where it's like, okay, Asgard's destroyed, right? The whole planet's destroyed. He's like, and it all played for comedic timing. They should have made that more epic. Like, it should have been more like, this is a big moment. People have been living on this planet for thousands and thousands of years. This is a lot of history that's being vanished. So I didn't kind of like that it was his character was the one that's supposed to be to do the comedic timing to end that scene where it's like he says, if the foundation is good, we can rebuild it. Then he said, "Oh nope, it's not. It's gone. We can't build it.
There goes the foundation.
Yeah, there's no rebuilding." I didn't kind of like that, but I had to probably go back and watch it and try to see the context. I don't think they were trying to give us a really serious movie, even though Ragnarok is serious. But I don't think they really was trying to give us that. I think they saw Guardians and see, okay, we have this cosmic space opera type feel. Why not we just play off that and do a comedy instead of some dark like Winter Soldier?
That's where the irony is. Ragnarok is literally the end of the world.
Exactly. Well, it was Asgard.
Yeah, and they were like, well, let's make it a comedy.
Yeah,
let's make fun of it.
And I do like that it basically the way to stop Hela. I gotta give Kate Blanchett. I did like Hela. There's some people that don't like her. They think she's just a one-dimensional villain. But her intentions are supposed to be like that. She's not. Her character is. She's come back from being in prison for thousands and thousands of years, and her whole mindset is that she's ready to take her throne and take over all the realms. That's her character. The one thing what we talked about before is I don't like that her and Thor don't have a lot of they don't have a lot of banter together. There's only like 2 scenes where they're together. And spoiler, that is there. We find out that is Thor's sister as well. That's the first. She's the firstborn, and Odin has had. He has had like a backstory basically where he was a monstrous character.
That was brilliant.
I thought it was brilliant as well.
I love that.
It makes you look at Odin now. He's a dick, bro. Odin is a dick.
Yeah.
If you look at everything he's done, first he takes Loki from the Frost Giants. Well, first he wanted to do exactly.
Well, that was different because he was like abandoned, like he was just.
You don't take nothing from it. Didn't hide it from Loki. It did not tell him that he's a frost giant or that he's a being from the frost giant from the frost planet. Yeah. Like that's something that dicks you would do. He banished Hela after doing the same thing he was doing.
Right, because she said all of a sudden he decided
Exactly. He wanted to be this
benevolent.
benevolent king.
Yeah.
So he just banished her, said nope, and then had a son. And said nope,
Yeah.
you don't exist. This is the firstborn.
Right.
Like he's done some messed up things a little bit. And give Anthony Hopkins, regardless of 5 minutes of screen time, he did a good job. I like the speech.
Anthony Hopkins is always great.
I like the speech that he gave to Thor.
He's usually the best part of any movie that he's in.
Yeah, I give it to Transformers. He was the basically most entertaining part of Transformers.
Red 2, he was my favorite character in Red 2.
Going back to that, I think the introduction to Hela was a little bit quick. The scene and the way when she broke the hammer is different from the trailer. I did like that they changed that up. It's not they changed that up. It's not an alley. They're like on a mountaintop in Norway or something like that. What else I was going to say? The way she gets to Asgard, I like that too because Loki brings her technically there. Loki brings her there by them letting bringing us the Bifrost, bringing us back. She gets there by Loki, and it's technically Loki's fault because Loki banishes him away and basically make him lose his powers. So it's technically all over. But the one thing I didn't like is that Thor he's getting upset at Loki and say this is all you're doing, and then they just wipe that away. Where it's like okay, he was mad. And then now we're just gonna wipe that away. I don't think I like that.
They never really
resolved that.
But
I think they did because even that same scene where they're about to escape, he says like, it's the same shit. You play me. It's a recycle. He even said that he like the world was about change.
I trust you. You trick me, and
so I think he understands that. So that's why he can't get mad because he's like, you're the god of mischief.
Yeah.
And like you can be more though, and I like that too. He still believes in him, regardless of him doing all his bad stuff. He's like, you can be more than this.
To piggyback on that, I loved the relationship between Thor and Loki.
Yeah.
For the first time,
we actually got that dynamic.
Yeah. For the first time since the early scenes in the first movie, it felt like they were really brothers. Loki was neutral. All the other movies he kind of felt bad, with the exception of
he's more anti-hero in this one.
Yeah,
he does
was
bad things, but
yeah,
he's more for himself. Because even Thor said like, why don't you just stay here, stay on Sakaar, because that's a perfect place for him. It had that mischievous place to him.
Right.
So why don't he stay here? But he ended up not doing it, obviously.
Right. I thought that this movie was great for Loki's development.
Yes, definitely.
Because like I said, he felt one dimensional in the Avengers and Thor: The Dark World.
He felt like he was a straight bad guy. He felt like he's only brought here because he needs him. This time Loki is just literally there. Like I love the scene. He's sitting there having fun, and Thor's noticing like Loki, I'm right here. What's up? Like he's just there, and then like I said, he just literally shows up because Korg finds him and brings him along. He just shows up.
He was like, you guys are in desperate need of
leadership. He said,
I may as well.
He said, here comes, thank you. Like he agrees with him, and I like that. Now let's get back to the arena fight, the Planet Hawk storyline. Basically, this is Planet Hawk. This main scene of Thor going to Sakaar. This is basically Planet Hawk. This is the Planet Hawk movie that fans wanted, but it's just died down to about 30 minutes, 20, 25 minutes.
About 20 minutes.
I did like the Thor and Hawk scenes where they're talking. Hawk is hilarious, man. Hawk is hilarious. I think they did the perfect.
He was like a big 4-year-old. Like
even like he's telling like you're the dumb Avenger. You're the dumb Avenger. He's like, Thor walks him and said, nope. And I love that, and then it's funny because Valkyrie comes right. He's like, tell her to stay. He throws something and says, stay, please. It's hilarious. I was just a little kid in candy store in the theater. Like, this is perfect. This is exactly how I want Hulk to be. And I understand why. And I understand he's been Hulk for 2 years since he left. Since the events of Age of Ultron. And I love that Bruce Banner don't remember that. He doesn't know that he's been that way for that long. He's like, he's asking everybody, well, how's everyone doing?
Yeah.
That doesn't know, you know. He's wearing Tony's clothes. He's like, is Tony here? Like, he's here?
Right. That's because he said this time felt different. He said it felt like we always had a hand on the wheel.
And he said he felt like he was in the trunk.
Right.
And the Hulk was driving.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because even the scenes, he's Thor asking like how long he's been like. He's like, Hulk's always Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, he's always Hulk. And technically he's not, obviously, you know. They're both the same. And and like you said, I do love the scene. He keeps saying like, you know, the sun's coming down. You know, it's gonna hurt you. Even in the fight itself, he tries to do that. That was brilliant. This ain't gonna work, bro. And what did you think about Thor getting his full force powers within that scene? Did you think it was a little bit too early to get him? Would you rather him have that like basically like a teaser and then not show it?
I thought it was perfect. I mean, they basically was a teaser because he only used that, you know, that one blast. I love the scene where Hela's holding him down.
Yeah.
She's like, "What were you the god of again?" And he flashes back to Odin. He's like, "Who are you, the god of hammers?"
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
You don't need that hammer.
The one thing is that's the one thing that's always been a question is that do Thor get his powers through the hammer, or is he always, you know, he already has it inside of him, and now we actually get to see that. And
that was a question. I guess I kind of
you know what I mean with non-comic book fans, people that just watch the movies, because that's all we see him have. We never really see him use thunder.
Yeah.
Only to like do
without the hammer.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what most people question was now that he doesn't have it, and then it felt weird that he didn't have it a little bit, like
because that's his trademark.
Exactly.
You know
now
what I mean?
It's like they can't sell hammers now because technically he's not gonna have it. He's gonna have something different in Infinity War. He's gonna have a different item in Infinity War that he's gonna be holding.
It's like Cap without his shield.
Exactly.
Or Iron Man without the arc reactor.
And and it's
like.
funny because each movie does that. You notice each third movie, Cap gave up his shield. Iron Man gave up his arc reactor in the third movie, and now Thor doesn't have his hammer. And I love that the way he's explaining. And Korg is the one that will say like, it looked like you had an intimate relationship with your hammer.
Yeah.
And he even said that he's like, yeah, I guess you're right. He even agreed like, yeah. He's like, it's like you're losing a loved one. He's like, yeah, it's kind of like that because he obviously, you know,
he loved that.
Yeah.
But there was I love.
Now the one thing I'm upset about that is now we're not. So now he doesn't have the hammer, right? So we're never gonna get the scene of Captain America.
You're right.
We're never gonna get those scenes now because now he doesn't have the hammer.
Man.
It just now. I thought about that
I didn't
so much.
think about that.
Now I'm not gonna see Captain America ever hold the hammer, and it's kind of upsetting because that's what the one thing I want to see in Infinity War. We'll talk about some Infinity War news later in Nerd Talk that I want to have your questions on. But getting back to this,
maybe you'll get a new man.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's gonna be a new hammer. So we'll wait. We'll have to wait till we'll have to wait until Infinity War to see all that. And but I do like that it didn't take away early in the film, but it just makes more sense because he's so used to having it. Even when he gets on Sakaar, the first thing he does is this. The first thing he do is put his hand out to get the hammer. He doesn't have it. Like, oh shit, I don't even have my hammer. Yeah. And even he explains, he like, so much has happened. I lost my hammer like yesterday, so it's still fresh. So it's still in his mind. Damn, I don't even have my hammer. Yeah, but those scenes I did like because he doesn't have no hammer. He's holding a gun in one scene. It's kind of weird because he used to have his hammer. It felt so funny to me a little bit.
Favorite scene in the movie.
Favorite scene in the movie? I think the whole sequence on Sakaar is my favorite scene. Like the whole sequence of him getting there, fighting Hulk, meeting the Grandmaster, escaping there. Like that whole sequence was it felt like one whole sequence. It didn't feel like an event. But even getting back to like Jeff Goldblum's character, like even him and like his second right hand person. Like there's a scene where Jeff Goldblum like I'm really angry, and Loki did, like kind of cuts him off. He said, "Don't cut me off," and then the chick handed him the stick, the melting stick. He's like, "What are you handing me that?" Just interrupted me. That's not a capital law. That's not a crime. And that's just stuff like that. I think, and it's funny because they keep going back to Hela. Like they keep going back and forth. It felt like two separate movies. It felt like, okay, we have Hela over here trying to take over Asgard, and we have Thor trying to get off Sakaar and get to Asgard. But and then they have the Planet Hulk stuff. So it just felt like two separate movies, like trying to collide into one. It felt like the director was more passionate about the Planet Hulk stuff because he put more into that. And it felt like the Hela stuff was kind of dry. Then we have Heimdall like guarding the citizens out of Asgard. He kind of reminded me of you when I saw him like that was like John a little bit.
Which part?
Heimdall.
Oh, just
the general. I'm like, oh, it looked like John, but maybe the dreads was really heavyweight. But
my favorite scene was.
The second probably be the Doctor Strange scene. That's probably my second favorite.
My favorite scene was the final battle.
Final battle
when Thor kind of
gets his powers.
Got his powers.
Now I ain't gonna lie. One of my favorite scenes is where you have Bruce Banner notice that the dog is about to kill me. Like, I know what I have to do, and
that was the funniest scene.
And then he jumps out and he lands on the ground. We know he's not dead. I don't care what nobody said, because people imply, like, you remember he said, like, if the Hulk comes back, I can't transform back to Bruce Banner, or he won't be Bruce Banner. I don't think he's gonna be Bruce Banner.
Obviously, yeah.
I think that was just something where that's more a comedic thing. Because I love the scene, even that same scene where they're talking. He's like, I'm on a planet that's designed to stress me out. And he says, like, to Hulk, he said, what he says, I forgot what he said, but you see the Hulk come out when he's technically like, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you have control over the Hulk. You know, it's not that the Hulk was that long for that long and you didn't have no control. You just have to learn how to do it again. But that scene was hilarious. He jumped out of the plane.
He can change into the Hulk at will.
Right.
Coming back is the problem.
Oh,
that's the issue. Yeah. That's why he was stuck being the Hulk.
Well, he had nobody to calm him down. Because all he was doing was fighting. When he's obviously he's fighting and killing people.
Right, like you said, it was a planet designed to
he's gonna stay that way. And I love when the Thor was telling Hulk, like, I don't even like Bruce Banner, the Saints. I don't like that. I prefer you. And then he comes back, he's like, no, I don't like Hulk. Hulk is more smash. I prefer you. Yeah. And stuff like that's why I think that's why we probably do need something like this. We needed something like this for Hulk. Because he was basically that character is like, oh, he just smashes stuff. We got personality with him. And then we had more of a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing with Hulk and Bruce Banner. Because now Bruce don't even want to turn back and all because he's scared. Like, I don't know what to do with man because I might not come back.
And then after the battle, and Surtur was destroying the Asgard, and Hulk just jumped up, and hit him in the head. Thor, he was like, "Hulk, for once in your life, don't smash."
He's like, "Giant monster! It's a giant monster! It's like
big monster."
No, it don't mean nothing. Just come on. I love that too. I kind of hate they put that in the trailer, but it don't really matter that they put that in the trailer because that's just a funny scene. That's just a scene that's supposed to be funny.
I mean, like when I told you when the second trailer came out for it, I told you like they put the whole movie in the trailer.
Yeah,
so basically. I feel like I may have enjoyed the movie a little bit more if I had not seen that trailer. Yeah. But I basically knew everything that was gonna happen as far as major plot points.
Yeah, remember we talked about that.
Yeah. Obviously, the only thing I didn't see was like minor details, but
yeah. The only thing I have a problem with, I recently just watched the trailer and I was like, yeah, they show a lot. They do show a lot of stuff in there, but I mean, certain scenes don't match. Like even when Thor is talking about, what do you say? He said something in the trailer. Like they put things out of context and they mix them together. So it's
a few of the scenes they changed the background.
Yeah, they changed the background to a lot of scenes
to purposely mislead you. Like when Loki shows up to rescue the Asgardians.
Yes.
In the trailer, that scene where he flips up his knife. That scene is is in Asgard.
Yeah, it looks like it's in Asgard.
When Heimdall is leading the people out.
They're out of Asgard. right?
Yeah.
They're on the Bifrost Bridge at that point.
Right. They changed that to the Bifrost Bridge for the movie. Well, for the movie, then they changed it in the trailer, and then there was another scene that they changed. You mentioned it earlier.
The Hella scene where she breaks the hammers, and in the trailer it's like an alleyway or something like that.
Yeah, and it was actually in Norway.
It was on Norway, like on the mountaintop. The one thing I want to talk about, since we are talking about spoilers, is that no Infinity Stone. Well, we have the Tesseract, but we don't have the next Infinity Stone they were supposed to introduce. No Soul Stone.
That was the next one?
That's the next stone we haven't seen. We got the Space Stone, we got the Mind Stone, we got the what's the stone that's inside Vision. We have that one.
That's the Mind Stone.
Yeah, we have the
Tesseract is space, Vision is
the orb,
mind,
and the ether.
Orb,
Ether.
What is the ether?
The Time Stone. Doctor Strange has that one.
Time Stone. What is the ether?
Ether is, I don't know which one is that one, but we have that one. We already seen that one. The Collector has that one. The Collector has that and the orb. No, the Nova requires the orb. The Collector has the ether. We know Loki has the Tesseract because he took it from Odin's treasure room. And we'll talk about it in credit scenes after we're done talking about all this stuff. Doctor Strange has the Time Stone, and Vision has the Soul, or not the Soul Stone, but the Mind Stone.
What is? I can't think.
We didn't exactly. That's what I'm saying. They haven't introduced it yet. They haven't introduced the Soul Stone.
No, not the soul. Like.
Oh, what's the ether itself?
The Tesseract is the Space Stone. Mm-hmm. The Orb is the Power Stone. The thing in Vision's head is the Mind Stone.
Right. The Time Stone.
The Eye of Blubber's Time Stone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Doctor Strange has it. I think he has it in Thor. That's another.
And what is the ether?
The ether is
reality.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Okay. But that's the one stone we didn't get was the Soul Stone. That's the stone we didn't get. We don't know if it's coming in Black Panther, but I think they might be saving that one for Infinity War. And like I said, I don't want to talk about Infinity War stuff, and I want to talk about that later in this. We're talking about Thor Ragnarok. But I think they're gonna save that one. I think because even like Spider-Man Homecoming didn't have one either. So I think they're like these next movies.
I don't think that Spider-Man is gonna have stories like that.
But that's what I mean. Like I think they're gonna save like these. Like I don't think Black Panther's gonna have that, because I think Wakanda alone is more interesting. They don't need to introduce an Infinity Stone in there. I think his place is so secluded within their own little world. They can it's his place is more interesting than just introducing Infinity Stone being there. I think they're probably gonna wait. We're probably like
just Wakanda itself is
the vibranium itself is an interesting thing to introduce. Well, who knows? It might be there. We don't know yet. That would be my say. It wouldn't be surprised they was keeping the Infinity Stone there. That's why we don't know where it is. But that's the one thing I was surprised. I was sitting there like, I thought leaving. I said, we got no Infinity Stone. That's weird, because everyone thought it was going to be introduced in this one, because obviously Ragnarok, boom, it's big. But
you didn't see it
exactly. And I was surprised. And then I watched Emergency Awesome video. He talked about that. I said, oh, he's right. There is no Infinity Stone in this. And I figured it probably won't be one of these next couple movies, because what we got next, Black Panther, and that's it.
We just see
Black Panther, and then what? It's Infinity War after that, right? Damn, that's crazy. Yo, think of how close we are to Infinity War.
I was just thinking about I was thinking about Justice League, honestly.
Yeah, once we
2 weeks away from Justice League.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I'm not getting on YouTube no more, because all I see is TV spot after TV spot after TV spot after TV spot. I'm like, please stop. I don't want to see everything. Please stop. Please. Don't show me TV spot after TV after TV. Well, it's up to me to watch it, but I don't want to keep seeing that on my feed, because I'm subscribed to Joe.
TV spots give away everything.
I'm subscribed to
even
Joe
more so than the trailer.
Yeah, and they'll give you every comedic thing.
Like I've seen
one liner, everything.
How many trailers just got? Like 4 trailers. I've seen all 4 trailers, and I still don't know any details.
Any like major thing, like a full story.
Yeah, all we know is that there was a major battle. at the beginning of time or whatever, just long before we were alive, and then years later, the events of BVS, and then Steppenwolf comes out. That's all we know, and that's how it should be. I don't. You can have 5, 6, 7 trailers as long as you don't give away information.
You know, they showed it in the theater, and what they showed was just basically.
They showed the Heroes trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they only show that much. They don't show that much in there. And I'm watching like, this is a good trailer because we don't really know what's going on. We just know like Bruce Banner said I had a dream that things were the end of the world. That's all we know. It's like okay, this is basically the apocalypse, right?
Right.
But getting back to Thor, I love the whole comedic thing. People saying it's too funny, it's too fun. But I think we needed something like this because the last 2 Thor movies, they tried to give us that in the same. They tried to give us something deep, something funny, and it didn't work. And I think this one, they needed to either set a one tone, not have 2 tones at once. Well, even though you can say that with the Hela sequences, that her sequences are kind of dark, but not really though, because she has some comedic thing. I love the scene where she's telling everybody, like, I'm Hela, and I'm here to take over, and then the dude's like, surrender now. He's like, did you not hear a word I just said? Like, you not know who I am? And that's even the stuff where she explaining everything to, saying like, man, like, this sanctuary, like it's supposed to be nice, but no, this is the real life.
Yeah, all this is built on lies. Like where you think all this gold came from?
Exactly, like just little stuff like that. Like she has some funny. Well, you people say she ain't had no funny words. I'm like, yeah, she had some one-liners. She has some comedic things to say. Like even when she's telling what's his name, Carl Urban's character, Scourge. Yeah, he's like every great king has an executioner. But they also had the thing to execute their vision. But they mostly just execute people too. Like that was just a little hint of she could be funny too. I did love her performance. I think this is another good Marvel villain they introduced, like next to Vulture. I think would you count Kurt Russell as a villain in Guardians? He's the villain technically. What did you think of? Did you think he was a good villain too?
I thought he was likable. He was okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it's hard to see that movie as him being a villain.
But most villains in superhero movies are just okay. Only a few stand out. Yeah. Loki stood out tremendously.
Well, he has character though. Yeah. And I think
he had an established backstory.
Exactly. Yeah. Being Thor's brother, I think that's what that took. But I think that's probably what helps this a little bit, that this is a relative of Thor. And so I love the scene where Bruce is like, I had to go back fight my sister. He's like, what? I don't want to do that. That's a family issue. I don't want to do that. And I like that too. That's more of a community thing. Like, man, you got to go fight your sister, bro. You got to go fight her.
I'm tired of fighting beings.
I'm tired of fighting beings. I'm tired of that. It's like, you don't do it. The Hulk does it, bro.
And then you don't even listen to anything I just said. If I turn into the Thor, I'm never coming back. You don't care about me.
You don't care about me. You're not my friend. You don't care about me. That's what I see. Little stuff like that makes this movie work, man. I did like the buddy cop aspect. I did like that too. I love that.
It felt like 48 hours of space.
Yep. But definitely. I just think everything worked to me. The writing, the directing. I gotta give it to, I don't even know how to say his name. The director's name, like Taika Waititi or something like that. That's his name, something like that.
The director.
Well, the director, he did some other films that I didn't see, but I heard they were good though.
What else did he do?
Something The Shadows or something like that. But he did some other film that they heard they were good. That he did act in as well. But I did like the minor reference. They did reference to other movies, like obviously the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah. Just little minor stuff that they.
I like how they used those references as jokes. It's like the
same
sun's
Thor
going down and
I love that they played that back when he went to the X-wing thing. He went back to the ship and Hulk comes in saying, "No, Thor, stay!" And then the thing comes on and he looks at it like, "Damn." And then he knows he's punching himself.
Yeah, he's like, no banner.
You
know what that reminded me of?
What?
The cartoon Incredible Hulk. You might have been a little too young.
Yeah, I ain't seen that.
It was only on for a season, but there are scenes in that cartoon that were like that.
Really?
That scene specifically took me back to when I was like 5 years old.
Wow. He's literally punching himself to stay the Hulk.
Yeah.
And I did love that. I love after he comes back, he logs in and you see the log that what happened to him, and he looks at the camera and it's Bruce Banner's face, and it transforms, like it kind of like it meshes together as the Hulk and Bruce Banner's face.
Yeah.
Like I like that imagery right there is pretty pretty on the nose. What do you think of the Stan Lee cameo?
I liked it.
I liked it as well. I liked it as well.
That was one of my favorite cameos.
Yeah. I give you that one. I was in the theater, said that's what I'm talking about. I don't think no one else said anything. I don't think no one else noticed. I stood there like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Stan Lee do some shit in this movie.
That one was one of my favorites. The one in the first Thor was my favorite. Where he had the truck, was trying to pull.
Oh yeah. That's a good.
And I think my favorite might have been in Age of Ultron when he got drunk.
I think my favorite has to be, and it's not a Marvel Studios one.
Not MCU, Jordan.
No, it's Amazing Spider-Man where he's in the library and Spider-Man and Lizard are fighting behind him.
Oh,
and he's listening to music and he can't hear nothing, but everything is going on behind him. He just walks away and Spider-Man just walks past him like within a millisecond him walking out there. And I think that's probably my favorite one. But another one, and it's not an MCU one, it's another Spider-Man one, and he's not really saying, he's not really doing anything, but he talks to Peter. And it's in Spider-Man 3, and he talks to Peter. He says, I'm guessing some people can make a difference. And he just says, enough said, and walks away. And it's all, they talking about Spider-Man getting the key to the city. That's probably my second favorite, because he's not even doing too much, but he's giving a line of dialogue to Peter, and it makes so much sense to what's going on in the context of the story. That's probably my second favorite. It's funny, 2 Spider-Man movies too.
Yeah.
But getting back to Thor, I love Chris Hemsworth's performance of it. I felt like he finally got the character. He finally got the character down. He finally figured out, okay, I'm not gonna be the alien in another planet. I'm about to be Thor. I'm about to be Thor, and I'm about to be the character anywhere I am. Because it felt like the other movies where he's kind of alien. He's kind of, he's not. He's the one that that doesn't belong. He's the one that doesn't belong out of the group because he's obviously the god of thunder. He doesn't, And now I feel like he finally came to terms with the character, And I love that first place he thinks of, even though he asked the one thing, where he's from. Let's go to Earth. Let's just go to Earth. Let's go to Earth.
What was that thing, man?
I don't even know the name, but I love that scene. He's like, I stepped on him on the bridge until he died. He's walking like, oh no, he's alive, he's alive. That's hilarious.
What was your question again?
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. I was like, this is definitely a buy one first. I got to get the steelbook if they have a steelbook for it. I know the steelbook gonna look awesome. Yeah. This is definitely a first pickup buy when it comes on Blu-ray. I definitely have to watch it when it first comes out, bro. Cause I think watching it again, I will highly enjoy it. This is something. See, Guardians 2, I would watch again. This right here, I would definitely watch again. It definitely have that repeat value, and I do agree with you. I said it in my review as well that this doesn't feel like Thor 3. You don't have to watch all 3 back to back, like 1, 2, 3, and feel like you get the whole thing. I felt like exactly what you said.
This
feels so different than all the other movies. Yeah. The only thing that ties in is that someone came up and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jane broke up with you." That's it. That's the only thing that ties in the other one. But obviously, the scene, well, they're making fun of Thor too, technically, in that opening scene where they're doing the play. They're making fun of that. Because even like Matt Damon's like, he's dying, and Odin says, "I didn't do it for you," and he tells him, "I didn't do it for him," and he dies, and like that. I think they're making fun of that, bro. They're making fun of that movie.
Yeah.
Because that's the one that you don't have to watch. The only reason to watch it because the ether is in it, but someone can tell you that the ether is in it, and you're good.
There is a really good low-key scene in there.
Yes, but he wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. They had to write those in because of the response he got from Avengers.
Right.
He wasn't even in the movie.
Right.
So like I said, getting back to that, I want to talk about the end credit scene. I didn't see the Jeff Goldblum one because I knew it was just a throwaway one.
Yeah.
But I knew the middle one was going to be the big one. Obviously, we know that's Thanos' ship. And what do you think is going to happen? Now that I want to talk about some maybe Infinity War stuff, now that's technically next. Black Panther, I don't think is going to tie into the Infinity War. But
I think Thanos is going to obliterate that ship.
You think so? You think
Most,
all the people in Asgard are gonna die? So basically, they did all that for no reason.
Yeah.
That I don't want that to be. I'm thinking Loki took the stone. That's the first stone Thanos was gonna try to get. Yeah. I'm thinking Loki is going to transport everybody in a way. Transport everybody to Earth. Thor is gonna try to fight Thanos now that he has his full power. Try to find him. Obviously, now he's not powerful enough. Thanos is gonna destroy
smack him into the next galaxy.
And that's when the Guardians bump into him.
Yeah.
And the only reason why it's hard to say because you didn't see the Comic-Con footage, but it starts with Guardians.
I saw it.
Okay, you saw the footage, the fuzzy shit. They actually had a clear version, and that's how I saw it. Well, I kept watching it over and over again before they took it down.
Yeah.
They bumped into Thor just floating in space. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing I want to talk about is that, okay, the same thing happened with Loki in the first Thor where he was just floating in space. He obviously didn't die. Mm-hmm. Do you think Hela died in this movie?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
No, Hela. No.
Do you
Hela is going to take Lady Death's place.
Exactly. Thank you. Because that's what I was thinking the exact same way. That when the way they was portraying her, I don't think. You don't get someone like Kate Blanchett to do one movie. You don't do that.
Right, no.
You put her in something else.
It's like Anthony Hopkins.
Exactly.
Like, Anthony Hopkins never thought that he was going to play Odin in 3 movies.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. You don't just get those type of actors and just put them in one movie, though. Mm-hmm. Well, regardless, they had Robert Redford. He only was in one movie. But he's not he's not a super being. So, I was thinking that, too, when I was watching, like, Hela's not dead. There's no way they can have this character come back, do all this stuff, and just have her die. I do. Agree with you.
She announced that she was
the goddess of
death like 3 or 4 times.
So I do agree with you that she is going to be that one that's going to take that place. She's basically going to be that. But that's what I think is going to happen. I'm thinking the people in Asgard are going to be good. They're going to go back to Earth. Loki's going to be good at this point in time, knowing like, oh shit, this is Thanos. We all know we in deep shit. We're going to die. He's going to take this stone and kill us all regardless. So he's going to... Because I think he took the stone. We obviously know he took the stone in Odysseus.
I think that he's
treasure room.
Yeah, I think that he's gonna be on the side of the Avengers simply for the fact that this is not just about Asgard or Earth. This is about the entire universe.
And I think in the Comic-Con footage too, we see him with the stone. We see him with the stone. We see Loki with the Tesseract, right?
Okay.
So that's my theory.
I haven't watched it since it first came out, so I barely remember it.
I think it's still stuck in my mind. I'm never gonna. That's why I'm ready for them to release it. I don't think they're gonna release it until Star Wars comes out, but maybe not. Maybe in front of Black Panther. Who knows? Because I don't think they were satisfied with releasing that trailer.
When did they release the first Civil War trailer? It was late.
It was late,
only a few months.
But it made me go back to when Age of Ultron came out. When they said it was leaked, but they said Hydra did it. Hydra leaked the trailer. It made me go back to that, where it's like that was early when that was leaked. I remember when it came, I thought it wasn't real. I'm like, this ain't real.
That was stupid.
And it was like, wow, it was real.
That was stupid early. Yeah.
It was too early. I think it was like a year and like almost like 9 months before the movie came out. So, but only reason why I say it should have already been released because it's already November. May is like what 7 months away, not even.
I feel like they should have released it in like August or something. Maybe September.
They should have released it in front of Thor. The only reason why I say they shouldn't have because that would have discarded the events that happened in this movie. That's why I say they're probably gonna wait until after. They're gonna wait until Star Wars because that's obviously a Disney property too. They're gonna show it in front of Star Wars, or they're gonna show obviously when the big event happens, obviously. So my next guess it will be Star Wars or Black Panther. It's got to be a Disney property. Yeah. They're not just gonna show it in front of anything.
One thing I do miss. With this age of technology and I miss seeing a preview for the first time
in the theater. I do give you that.
Because the temptation is too great to not watch it.
And the one thing is that I probably don't want to watch that trailer on the small screen.
But
I'm
going.
That's what I'm saying. But the worst part that I'm going to watch it on my phone or watch it on the TV when I know I want to watch it on the big projector screen. Right. Like I said, it's probably going to release when I'm at work and I ain't had no choice but to take 2 minutes out of my day to go watch it on my damn phone.
That's how I was with the The Power Ranger trailer.
How it was with Spider-Man. Or even with Civil War, when the second trailer of Civil War came out, my little brother tagged me and I said, no. And I remember being at work, losing my mom and my dad, like, what? I'm like, bro, they showed Spider-Man in the trailer, and then I had to watch it like 5 times that day. I showed my dad, like, Dad, look at this, look at this. And I was upset, because I'm at work watching this, like, I would rather see that in the big screen. I would rather see it like that. I do agree with you. I do remember seeing like the first couple Harry Potter trailers on the big screen. I never watched them on TV. I always went to the theater and they showed the trailer for it. I never meant to go on YouTube to watch it until
that's the thing that's happened like recently, like within like the last 5 or 6 years. Because
you can go before that too.
Because I remember watching
not 10. I would say at least
like 8.
8, yeah.
Because I remember
before Marvel. This is before the Marvel. Yeah, before the first phase. No, because I remember watching the first trailer to the Avengers.
Yeah, I remember watching the first Transformers trailer.
Yeah, I saw that in theater. I didn't see that.
I was like, this looks fantastic.
And it's funny because getting the Transformer, I didn't think I was gonna like it at first. And when I saw Michael Bay's name, I'm like, I didn't like his other color. I like Bad Boys too. I'm like, him doing Transformers though. Like I thought I'm like, he's gonna make it rated R. He's gonna make it too explicit. Cause I know his other stuff is kind of hardcore.
F-bombs.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh snap, this is not good. And I was more indulged in the movies at that point in time. I knew what director was what director, so I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna be good. And I did enjoy the first Transformers, and I thought it was a good movie.
Well, see, I'm a huge Transformers fan. As far as like everything Transformers, the cartoons, the books, the toy. I still have Transformers at my house. So I'm biased. So I was gonna like it regardless. Yeah. Same thing with Power Rangers. I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. I was gonna like Power Rangers whether it was crappy or not.
I give you that as well. I give you that as well.
Same thing with Justice League. I'm gonna like Justice League whether it's crappy or not.
I think Justice League is gonna be good. I don't think we're gonna be sitting there like gonna be people are gonna be judging. Oh, it's bad. We're gonna be it's gonna be good.
You know what? I firmly believe it's gonna be good. I have yet to hear a negative review or reaction about it from the people that have already seen it. And these are not. It's not like BVS where they screened it in front of the WB execs and they raved about it. Then they showed regular people and they hated it.
The WB exec's gonna say it's good because of WB execs. So, but getting back to this, I do agree with you. I do miss those times. But getting to the movie talking about Infinity War, they're saying it's going to be a heist movie, like a heist type based film for Infinity War. Basically, Thanos is going to be coming to collect the stones. So my guess, Vision's going to die in this movie, unless they're going to wait till the Avengers 4 to do that. But he obviously has to get that stone from him. So he has to take it out of him, and that's what controls him. So I'm thinking Vision is not going to survive.
I got mixed feelings about that heist movie thing because it's called Infinity War.
But that's what I'm saying.
I want to see them fight.
I'm sure we're going to get a little fight, but we're not going to get the fight. They're going to wait till Avengers 4 to give us the fight. That's why I'm saying. That's why I understand why they say that this is not going to be a 2-parter when this technically is. Because we're not going to get the fight in this movie. We're not going to get the fight in this movie because I don't think he's going to have all the stones in this movie. He's not going to get all the stones. Like I was saying, that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to wait to introduce this next stone. They might even wait till like Captain Marvel introduces stone. So we don't know if he's going to have all the stones to do what he really wants to do.
That would really make me upset.
I mean, we don't know yet though. They haven't shown anything. If anything, I give it to Marvel with this. They haven't really gave us nothing from Infinity War.
Yeah.
Nothing. We know technically nothing. We know all the people that's in it. But we don't know exactly. We know it's going to be like a heist-based type film. Yeah. But we don't really know what's going to happen. We've seen people see trailers, but that's just mixed footage of what's going on. We don't know what's happening.
If that heist movie thing is just the case, they should check. I'm not change because they obviously not going to change the name of the movie, but it should be called something different. If we're not going to see a war, don't put war in the title.
We don't know yet. They might change the title. They did the quick title change on Civil War. It was supposed to be called Serpent something, and they upped up. It's called Civil War. So who knows? I mean, we don't know.
I wonder what that movie was gonna be about.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it has something to do with Bucky, obviously, because we have to finish that storyline. But with the whole controversy on BVS, they knew they had to do that. They had to do it. They had to do it. I think Marvel knew, like, we got to do a versus type film too. I mean, it only felt right because they was leading into it. You see the couple of Avengers movies, they already had Tony and Cap already had bantering together. They already didn't agree with one another. So
especially in Age of Ultron.
Exactly. So they definitely can judge it off that, and especially after the events of Age of Ultron, with them basically destroying a whole city. I think it made sense for them to do.
I want to know what is going to happen, like with their relationship,
especially now
going
that
forward, because Tony was hurt.
Yeah.
Like for real hurt. Like he was heartbroken. Like that was his boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the only worst part is that
I was your friend too. Like, what's up?
And the only worst part is that they have to come together because this bigger threat is coming. Yeah. So who knows what exactly is gonna happen? That's what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know what's going on in Infinity War. That's why I do like it, that we sitting here with anticipation waiting for this first trailer. The first trailer, bro. The first trailer. That's what's so crazy. Like, they would have been released this by now. I think Marvel really wants us to wait to the last second to see this shit. They probably only gonna release like 2 trailers. They're gonna do like what they normally do.
You know, you realize they do that with their most anticipated movies. They've only done that with this movie and Captain America: Civil War. All the other trailers have come out.
Yeah. No, because even the first Avengers movie only had like 2 trailers. They had the first trailer. They had like a Super Bowl spot. And they had a trailer too. They only had like 3 trailers for the first Avengers. But
not really, because they had that little teaser of a teaser after what?
Oh, at Captain America. Yeah, right about that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm surprised they didn't show us nothing like that from this. I thought
that was like a year before the movie.
I thought the end credit scene for Thor was going to be him knocking into the Guardians. I thought, okay, that's going to be. I thought that was going to be the credit scene. I thought, okay, we're going to see that happen in Thor, and then it's going to jump us into Infinity War. But they just cut the black. I said, oh, we're not even going to see that. That's probably going to be the beginning of Infinity War or Infinity War. I don't even want to call it Infinity War, knowing that what that damn plot, what the storyline they want to do.
Right. That's I gotta be honest. That's really gonna make me upset. They call it Infinity War, and there's no war.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, man. But any other spoilers you want to talk about with the movie with Thor, man?
No, I'm all Thor out.
Yeah. It is a very enjoyable movie. It's very fun. I believe it's good. It's definitely the best Thor film. It's definitely the best Thor film. It made me want to get all these pops though for it though, especially the Hello one. They got like three different versions of her. Yeah, that looked dope too. It made me want to collect all the figures now that I saw it. I just bought Thor. I just bought Hulk because they only had Hulk at the place where I bought him. And he's actually pretty heavy too. He's pretty heavy. He's heavier than any other Marvel figure I picked up. So that's it for our spoiler review for Thor Ragnarok. I would say go check it out. It's definitely worth going to see in the theater. I heard the 3D wasn't that bad. The 3D wasn't that bad, but I just saw it in regular D. And I wasn't going to pay that much money for it.
You know what? The Thor movies in 3D aren't bad. I saw the first Thor movie, I saw that in 3D. That was a pretty good 3D movie.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think they with the colors, and that's the one thing I do like about it. They are colorful, and they do. Like, you would never think like a movie like this would exist 10 or 15 years ago. And now we doing it like this. It's crazy. I'll be sitting in the theater. I was watching Guardians. I'm like, we would never have this 15 years ago. Like, we would never have a talking tree and a talking raccoon sitting next to each other. We would never have that.
And taking them seriously.
Exactly. Like, we sit here and
like you can watch it and it don't feel ridiculous.
I was telling my Cam don't really understand what we're saying, but I told him, you're so lucky you get to grow up like this. When we were young, we had Batman and Robin. We had the first X-Men movie. Even though the X-Men movie was good, but we only had that. We only had Blade. We only had the first Spider-Man movie. We only had Daredevil, Hulk, Fantastic Four. They got Avengers and X-Men Days of Future Past and stuff.
If you think about it, each generation has its own thing.
You can go back. They had the first Batman. The Superman.
In the 70s and 80s, Star Wars was the big thing. For us, it's the MCU.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you say 10 years ago. Well, I would say Harry Potter was that next thing.
10 years ago was Harry Potter.
Harry Potter was that next thing.
Agree.
And after that, it is MCU. The MCU. That's one thing too. We'll talk about the DC stuff after this. Kids, y'all so lucky, man. Y'all so lucky, man. Y'all is so lucky. I would love to be a kid experiencing this right now, cause.
And you know what? I'm glad I'm not because.
Well, the only thing I say
we appreciate it.
They're too young.
That too, but
I can go see the shit whenever I want. I gotta worry about asking my mom to go take me. That's the one thing I did like when I was young. I gotta ask my mom to take me to go see these things. I can find no bootleg.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm old enough to understand
and
everything that's
appreciate
going
it too.
on
Yeah.
And appreciate it.
But
the next topic.
The next topic we talk about Stranger Things too. Well, he didn't watch episode 9.
I'm busy.
Well, I'm gonna talk about episode 9.
I'm
gonna give you my thoughts on episode 9, but I'm not gonna spoil it as much. And I do agree with you on that one. He's going through a lot right now, and I pray for him, man. But
it's good stuff.
It's good stuff. It's good. That's why I'm praying for the good. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about Stranger Things 2. My initial thoughts. I liked it. It's not better than the first season. It's a good follow up to the first season, but it's not as it doesn't have that. When I was watching Stranger Things for the first time, it had that. But maybe it's because it's the second season. I know all the characters. I know exactly what they've been through.
It's not as mysterious.
Exactly. It doesn't have that at stakes factor because Will was missing. Will was there now, but the only thing they changed is that the shadow monster is now controlling Will throughout the whole thing. He's inside of Will, and he's festering this kind of you should say, they call it a virus, but it's like more of this infestation of all of the stuff in Upside Down to come into our world. I did like that aspect of it, and the one thing I think I wanted to reference, just it did feel like Ghostbusters, it did feel like Gremlins, it did feel like Aliens. I got a lot of Aliens, not even funny because the Doctor in Aliens was the guy in Aliens. But I felt a lot of aliens in this, especially when they went down to the tunnels and stuff. I felt a lot. This did feel like Goonies again. They did feel like Goonies, especially at the end. Episode 9, you're gonna feel a lot like Goonies. Now you watched episode 8, right?
I watched episode 8.
So how we all guessed right.
What?
We guessed right. Who was gonna die?
Oh yeah, we did.
We guessed right.
We
guessed right.
As soon as that happened,
I said he's gonna die.
It
set it up because it was too good. It was he did everything right. He got out.
That's the same thing I said. I'm like, no. He doing everything right. No. He gonna die.
No, I said no. One, he paused. You don't pause.
He smiled.
And he smiled. You're gonna die.
That's
and
it.
One jumped out. I said I knew that was gonna happen. But we're gonna talk about that later. But basically, the story is that Will is back, but he's not fully back. The shadow monster that he's been drawing about, has infested inside of him, and he's causing all these things to happen. On the other side, we have 11 is hiding with Hopper, and I do like that storyline. Basically, he's like one mentor to her, trying to keep her safe, because if she's out there, they find out about her, she's a danger to herself.
I love their dynamic because they need each other. She has no parents, and he lost his daughter.
And the scenes where he's mad at her, they feel so real. They feel so right because she's a very damaged child, and he had a very damaged life, and he feel like he needs her to get back into that normal state of life because he obviously he's not himself.
Right.
And I do like that. It made me like Hopper more. It made me like him Hopper. Like even the scene where he gets stuck and down in the tunnel. I got a little upset. Like, don't kill my boy. Don't kill Hopper. That's the one thing I don't want him to die, because the next thing we need is in the second movie for a major character to die. And that didn't survive. That survived in the first season. So that's the one thing I didn't want them to do, was kill Hopper off. They didn't kill him off, and I was happy about that. I want to talk about probably we can jump within episodes because I want to hear your thoughts on certain things that they did do. They obviously we was right about everything. What we said, they stopped. That's the one thing I probably didn't like. I kind of predicted a lot of stuff that was happening. But they did stop the Steve and Nancy relationship. She ended up being with Jonathan. But I did like their dynamic. They trying to solve the mystery, and they go to the one guy basically that's trying to fight the man. They get drunk, and they end up they end up hooking up after being drunk. But they notice and that's the one thing I did. Like they finally noticed, like we're always together, and when big situations happen, why don't we just be together then?
Right, and everybody already thinks that they're together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I did. The funniest scene is that they're together, and then Steve comes out of the woods with the kids. He's like Nancy, and he looks like, oh, okay, so y'all together now. But then he kind of accepts it though. He accepts it though, like
because he knew, like he already and I love.
He said the line. He said, "I'm a terrible boyfriend. I know I was a terrible boyfriend." He knew he accepted that I wasn't right for you.
Yeah, I love the fact that it happened naturally. It wasn't. It didn't feel forced.
Because it was set up in the first season.
Right, you know from the beginning that they're gonna end up together, but it wasn't because Jonathan was trying to impress Nancy.
Exactly. He was just being himself.
They just let it happen, and I love that. They need to do that.
He was just being himself. He was just being himself. He wasn't trying too hard. I think Steve does try too hard. Obviously he's the pretty boy. He has to do what he has to do. But I did like that as well. It did feel natural.
He tries to overcompensate for his insecurities.
Going back into the new character introduction, we have a new addition to the group, a female. Her name is Max. I did like that introduce her. Basically, she's kind of a tomboy technically. Yeah. She beats Dustin's high score on the game. And I don't know if I did like you could guess, basically say it's a love triangle, but technically not between Dustin and Lucas. But technically not because she doesn't like any of them. She just think they're weird kids because she wants to be friends with them. I don't care what nobody says. She was kind of
feeling Lucas a little bit.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but
oh well, you just spoiled it.
Yeah, I just spoiled it for you. They end up getting together. Lucas and Max gets together at the end.
Okay.
They have a little dance and they end up getting together.
Well,
but we see that already.
I was about to say that's not a spoiler
because already they're fighting the little demi dogs and they hold hands, and even Dustin says it. He says, "I already know. You know, I felt it. I felt the energy.
I felt the electricity.
I felt it already, so it's okay."
Yeah, that's not a spoiler.
But there's another scene in that I did like though. But that's why I wish you would watch episode 9. Episode 9, bruh. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
I want to watch it tonight.
There's a scene with 11. It's awesome. It's just she finally brings out her powers. It's awesome.
Is 8 in episode 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something she says to 11 that basically makes her become a fucking superhuman. Just basically they make her impressive. I remember she was telling her, find your focus and that's what makes you make you stronger. That basically just come back.
I like 8 though. I just don't like everybody else.
Yeah, she didn't. Well, she had no reason to come back because in that episode, she goes away with the group. Well, I wanted to talk about that. Episode 7 is the worst episode out of the season. It feels out of place. We were talking about this earlier, but I was watching somebody else's review and they took the words right out of my mouth. It felt like it was a pilot to another show they're trying to start. Because we obviously know that she's been with them for a long time. So I don't know if they're gonna set it up. I hope not either because I don't like the other characters. I don't like the other.
None of those characters were interesting other than 8.
Yeah, but even the one guy said that they were messed up people. That the only reason why they're there is because of her.
Like I literally didn't care though.
That's what I'm saying. They're not good. They're not good characters. But they were only set up in that one episode, so we don't know. But as that episode, I didn't like those characters either. But I wanted to watch it. But I'm like, should I watch it? John told me it's not a good episode, and I knew I was gonna sit there and like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I didn't like it. I did like the dynamic of 11 going to find her mom and liking that. I did like that, but I wish they would have just kind of like had that and not make her go find the other girl. I kind of wish they wouldn't have did that. Like keep it within Hawkins. Don't go far away from. She was basically far away from the damn. She went all the way to where she was at. She was far. Yeah, she was far. I know she was far from Hawkins.
Yeah, she was.
So
in Chicago.
Like keep it within that. The whole thing is based in there. So keep it secluded in Hawkins. I don't want to make it feel like it's a bigger thing. That's why I like Stranger Things. It feels like it's its own little thing. It feels like it's secluded within its own little town.
I mean, I don't mind them her going to find her sister. They spent too much time.
I feel you. I feel
doing
that.
that.
I feel that.
I felt like a lot of time was wasted on uninteresting characters.
Yeah, and I definitely give you that one. You're definitely right about that. But I did like the dynamic between Hopper and 11. I did like that 11 is trying to base. She wants to get out. She doesn't want to be secluded in this house. She wants to get out. We do find out in this that Hopper finds 11, you know, because he's been putting the stuff in the little box. He ends up catching her. I got you. I did like that they showed. I knew they was gonna show that. Like they're gonna show flashbacks of that because I knew they were gonna lead up to that. Because the first episode you don't see her. I'm like, where's 11? That's the word. That's the first thing I answered. Like she has to be here. There's no way that they just killed her off. But I'm like, she has to be here. Who has her? And then we find out Hopper has her. And I did love them. Like perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. Because we didn't know after the first scene I watched. I said, oh, maybe he's just hoping that she's out there. Not thinking he knows she's out there. I didn't think that he knew. He was just hoping that she's out there. And they did give us the cutscene. They did give us the flashback. Her getting out. Getting out of the upside down into the world. They did show that, and I did like that.
One of my favorite scenes was in I think it was in like episode 4 or 5. Might have been 5 when Elle sneaks out and sees Max and Mike talking.
Yep.
And she causes Max to fall off her skateboard.
I really thought they were gonna have Max try to hook up with Mike. Like, oh, don't do this, don't do that.
No, I didn't.
Don't do that. I said, don't do that.
I knew that wasn't.
I really hope they didn't do that. But then, that obviously is not gonna happen.
I knew that wasn't gonna happen.
But when I saw that scene, I said, please don't do that. Don't make 11 feel more insecure. Don't make her do that. She likes Mike. Let's keep it with that.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna happen because Mike is so loyal.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
He was completely uninterested in Max.
And I did like the. And is it me or do Will remind you of a young Elijah Wood? Like that's why I was watching. He reminds me of Elijah Wood when he was young. He got a lot of Elijah Wood esque qualities to him. And I did like Will, but I just thought he was so. Maybe that's why I want a third season. I don't want Will to be like I want. Because he wasn't in the first season. And in this season, he's basically a fucking conduit. He's not even there. He's not there. And that's why I say, and I remember I said.
He's there, but he's not really
that's
there.
Why I said, that's why when we talked about it, I said, I felt like Will wasn't, I knew that was going to happen. I knew Will wasn't going to be there because of it. I knew that was going to happen.
In the third season, I want them to focus on a different character.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I saw that coming a mile away. I was like, man, Will is going to be, he's going to be a conduit. I knew that was going to happen because when they hinted it in the first thing, like, oh, he's going to be that. He's going to be the thing the monster is using. And we got that because the one scene we have when they go down and burn they burn the place where Hopper's at, right? And he sends him back down there basically to get killed by the demigod, by the demigorgon dog things. And he was basically Dustin is so funny, bro. No, he's raw, bro. Dustin is raw, bro. Let's get back to that, man. The dynamic between Steve and Dustin, bro, when he telling about his hair, telling him how to act around girls, it's hilarious.
I love that scene. Yeah.
But then it's funny because it goes back to that. I'm gonna just tell you about in episode 9. He does that. He changes his hair, and Steve tells him this is what you do, right? So he does that, and it kind of doesn't work for him.
Dustin changes his hair?
Yeah, he changes his hair and everything. He changes his hair. He put the things in his hair.
I like that.
Yeah, he basically has hair like Steve a little bit, but it's just more curly.
I like that.
So he goes to the dance. They have a dance at the end. He goes to the dance, and it kind of doesn't work for him.
Yeah.
Like he tries to be he tries to be the man, but it's not. And that's not Dustin. That's not him. He's more of a.
Well, Dustin doesn't have any charisma.
That's what I'm saying.
He's awkward.
That's why
Steve has charisma.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's not in Dustin that do that.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to get a dance from all different type of girls, and he doesn't. And Nancy, the one, calls him to get him a dance, and then it's gonna hint that if you can get a dance with me, any girl. And it's funny because that happens. He danced with her, and then like the girls he tried to add looked over and like, damn. They look salty as fuck. They look so dumb. Like, okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. And it made me feel so 80s, bro. I was watching like, this feels so 80s, bro. And that's why I think
that's all I was saying. Like it feels like Lucas.
Yeah. But
like the scenes without like the whole science fiction aspect, they feel like Lucas.
Definitely. Let's go. I want to go back to the character. Everyone feel like they're back to their selves. Everyone plays the characters basically the same they did in the first season. They didn't really outdo themselves in the first season. It felt like they brought the same A game. They felt like the same characters. No one felt different. The only difference that they introduced Max, and she was basically there to bring drama to the group a little bit, kind of, because Mike doesn't want her there technically because 11 was that. 11 was supposed to be her. But the more the merrier. I don't understand. I mean, you don't gotta talk to her, but Dustin and Lucas want them there, so you just have to come in agreement with that. He's technically outvoted technically, and we don't know about Will because Will's technically a fucking. He's possessed throughout this whole thing. I did like that though, where he's basically possessed.
Yeah, he just acts as a light.
And at the end, they technically give him an exorcism. At the end of the you'll see. They
were gonna have to do that.
They technically give him an exorcism, and it's amazing. It's really good. Like after Bob died, Joyce basically wants to.
Winona Ryder.
Yeah, I can't even say her name.
Winona Ryder.
Winona. Winona Ryder. Her character is so raged that she doesn't care. She's like, I want this thing to die.
I love Joyce, man. Like she's so raw.
Even earlier when she's like telling doctors like, what's wrong with my son? Can y'all tell me what's wrong with my son? Hey, did you notice where? I want to talk separate Easter eggs in a separate video because that's where we're talking. I was watching some other videos and the Easter eggs in this season, bro, it's crazy. That sequence right there, you notice what Easter egg is that from? That's from The Exorcist. When she's talking to the doctors and she's asking them why can't they fix her daughter from her being possessed.
You're right.
That's the same sequence. That's the same layout of everything. I'm like, right. That's perfect.
You're right.
That's perfect. And I was sitting there watching like, yeah, that's straight out The Exorcist all day. But that's the one thing I do love about this show too. The Easter eggs, the references, it works so well though, but it's still so original. I love the design of the Shadow Monster. I love that. I love the design of the Shadow Monster. I love that they brought back basically the creature from the first season back into this, but they just gave him. It felt like Aliens. Because Alien, you could say Stranger Things was like Aliens technically. It only was one, but this one they got multiple. It's more multiple creatures. I think they're a lot smaller though. They're a lot smaller than the creature in the first season. Yeah, but man, it's not Demogorgon. They just calling it that from Dungeons and Dragons. But
they don't know what else.
They don't know what to call it. But did you notice the scene they put it in the refrigerator? Is that there's a scene? That maybe might be the 9th episode. There's a scene where Dustin and Steve put it inside of Will's mom's refrigerator because they want to hold it because like this is a very special and discovery. We need to keep this hidden. We need to hide it. You need to keep it. That's why I think Dustin is probably my second favorite. I will say 11 is my favorite character because her dynamic between the whole season was just. I gotta give it to that actress who played 11. She is so good, man. She is so good, man. She feels so real, and the way she's playing, she doesn't really know a lot of things. She plays it so well. Like there's a scene where her and Mike about to dance. She's like, I don't know how to dance, and she just looks so real when she's doing that. Like she doesn't know how to dance, and I give it to the direction. I give it to the Duff brothers. I give it to them. And y'all wrote an amazing story. It feels so original, but it feels so nostalgic. You definitely could tell these guys love the 80s movie. They love the 80s. They love Spielberg. They love Lucas. They love all the 80s stuff, man. They love Ferris Bueller. They love Breakfast Club. All that stuff because it feels so much like all those properties.
There are certain movies or TV shows or stories or whatever, or CDs or whatever. You can tell that they're passion projects. Mm-hmm. They're not just a job. It's not just a hobby. This is something that
they wanted to do,
and they wanted to get it right. They didn't. This was probably in development for a while.
I can definitely
before they actually got a network on board.
Okay.
It felt like everything was planned, with the exception of episode 7 of season 2.
That's just like what you said. I think episode 7 is trying to do that. I think they're trying to introduce that number 8 character to do more. Like, I think in the next season we're going to get another one that's got a special ability. I think each team is probably going to introduce.
You know what? That would be dope if they did that, and then in the final season they all team up.
They come together because they're going to fight something big. But at the end, they kind of hint that the shadow monster is not gone technically. And I felt like it wasn't because they have. See, I don't want to spoil episode 9 for you because the way it ends. You definitely tell it's not over. It doesn't feel like it's over. Because eventually it feels like they resolved it for that period of time.
That just like season 1, eventually they're gonna have to explain where did the upside down come from? Was it always there? Or did we create it?
And the one thing is that there's other portals to get to the upside down. Because obviously we know how did they get to the tunnels? They dig a hole into a hole.
There's one in the pumpkin patch. There's one in the building.
Exactly.
That tree. Like it's so many.
There's a lot of different portals to get to the upside down. So it's like that's why and I don't think maybe the third. I don't really think this only gonna have 3 seasons because I think the way this resolved is okay. It feels like it's an end, but I think the next season is gonna explain most of this stuff. Yeah. It's gonna explain most of the stuff. I think the first 2 seasons were more. It was about Will, and then Will came back. Now we got to figure out what's wrong with him. Why is all this happening? Yeah. But I think this next season if they do another season.
They're gonna do another season.
That's when they're gonna explain how to do it because. The government's been covering all this up. Obviously, we know the government been covering up all this stuff, and I love that the scene where they go down and they're trying to they send the people in there to to fucking burn the place up basically, and it's like the government is doing all this, so you need to explain. And everyone in Hawkins died obviously because those things came out and killed everybody in the damn lab, so. That something has to be explained. We know you'll see at the end of episode 9 how it gets resolved, but I don't think it's on. It doesn't feel over because it felt like it's over in this season, but I just don't think. I think that we need another season to really fully explain what's going on with this town.
I agree.
There's something obviously going on with this just one town.
I agree.
But overall, I highly enjoyed it. I will be watching probably the show over and over again, like I do The Walking Dead, because. This show is really that good. And one reason why I want to keep watching because I want to see the Easter eggs. I want to see the references to other things that I didn't really catch. And I know there's other things in this show that they hint. It's probably in the background. It's probably you don't even notice it. I want to touch on the brother situation. I thought the brother was gonna die. He ended up not dying. He ended up surviving the whole thing. He doesn't die. But there's a scene in the 9th episode that I think you're gonna like. And
there was a scene in the 8th episode that I really liked.
You're talking about the fight, right?
Yeah. The dad.
Oh yeah.
The dad. I was so happy.
Yes,
I wanted the dad to beat the crap out of him.
I really thought we were gonna get that.
I really wanted that, but I was this is a fight.
And the one thing I did, like what he said is that his attitude is not good because his attitude has not been good this whole show. This whole show's attitude has been terrible, and that's the one thing I'm glad at least someone said that because his attitude towards his sister, towards everybody is so horrible. But maybe that's his character. He's a very horrible person. He doesn't like.
Ironically, the person he's nicest to is Steve.
Exactly.
And he ain't even that nice to him.
I mean, it's more of a. I want to say he's mean to him, but I don't know. It's
not as mean as he is to everybody else.
Nah, because even there's a scene where he confronts Lucas.
I knew that was coming.
He confronts Lucas,
so,
and
don't tell me about that.
Yeah, even stuff like that. You're right. He's mean to everybody else, but I don't know. That's that dynamic between him and Steve is weird because you'll see in the 9th episode. It's so weird. It's like I just think her brother is a very complex character. Where it's like, and it's funny because. That's the guy from Power Rangers. He's really good in this show. He's really good as the character he's portraying. And it made me upset they're not doing another Power Ranger movie because I think he can really grow as Jason in Power Rangers. So I do agree with you. I did like the episode with the father. I was kind of hoping they was gonna show her parents because we didn't see the parents throughout the whole episode, the whole season. So when they showed that scene, I said, okay, that we see why he's like this because his dad is like that. His dad is a very controlling person. But
that scene,
but his attitude,
he deserved it.
It shows that he has to be like that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I did like that as well. But I'll probably talk to you off screen about episode 9. But my thoughts, it ends to a very satisfying ending. Those last two, 8 and 9, are the best episodes of the whole season.
Absolutely.
They're the best episodes.
8 is the best episode I've seen.
Cause
I love episode 8.
Even now, it felt like Aliens again, but it felt like it was so tense, so on like, okay, what's gonna happen? Okay, like, and we know shooting guns ain't really doing that much to them. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what can they do? They can't shoot these things. And at the end of it, we had 11 come back, and I saw that come. I saw it. 11's probably the only thing that they haven't used yet to kill these things. Obviously, we know she probably can kill them. She can just probably stab their necks with her mind. But when that scene happened, I was just so drawn to everybody. Everybody was looking like she's back. And then Mike's face was like, his girl is back. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Even a little hint at episode 9 where they look like they about to kiss. And then it gets interrupted. It's hilarious. Like, that's just hilarious because it'll be too on the nose. Like, oh, I'm about to give you a kiss because I don't know if I'm gonna come back. But obviously it don't. But she said like, you're not gonna lose me. You're not gonna lose me. Because even Mike said like, I don't want to lose you again. He's like, I'm not gonna lose you. You're not gonna lose me. And yeah, I'm so I'm ready for you to watch episode 9. It's really good, man. Episode 9, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Well, my initial thoughts on season 2, it's good. It's definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of the first season. All the characters are back there. New characters that are good. They're interesting. I'm just ready to see season 3. I'm ready to see them progress. I really want them to be older a little bit. I want them to get into high school. They're in junior high school right now, right? So I probably want them to get a little bit older a little bit. But we don't know. They might keep
they already a little bit.
What are they, like 14 range? Yeah. So they'll probably be in high school within the next season.
Yeah, we'll have first season they was like 11, 12 years old. This season
like 13, 14, okay. Yeah, because obviously they get into puberty, so that's how I feel. Okay, they're like 14.
Next season they'll be in high school. Because you can tell they're going through puberty right now. Mm-hmm. Dustin's voice is so crackly.
Yeah. His smile, bro. It's like he look like he doesn't have no teeth, but he has teeth. And you know, he smiles like he doesn't have no teeth.
Yeah, he doesn't. Like these are fake.
Oh, he has fake teeth.
Yeah, like in real life, these are fake.
I noticed. I'm like, why is he smiles like that? It's hilarious. Yeah. I thought that was just the way he smiled.
That was one of the reasons they casted him was because he didn't have any. He was like, let's add that to the character. Let's make that a thing.
Cause it's funny because 11 comes out and said that you have teeth. She said that like, oh, teeth. Oh yeah, I got teeth. And that's hilarious, man. I did like that. That's what I'm saying. I think Dustin's probably my second favorite character because his dynamic between his when he's at home, his cat getting eaten, holding the demigod, the little demigod thing is hilarious, man. He named the damn thing. It's hilarious, man. That whole scenario when he was holding that was hilarious. I'm like, man, this is not gonna end well for you, bro. This thing is gonna get out. It's gonna cause havoc, and you're gonna have to pay for it. Yep. And that ended up happening. He ended up telling Steve, like, come with me. I need you to do this. And I really I didn't think I was gonna like Steve. I ended up liking Steve.
I've always liked Steve because Steve wasn't. He wasn't like the quintessential boyfriend. Douche. He, like I said, he reminded me of Charlie Sheen from Lucas. He was likable.
Yeah. That's what about. Like I said, he was trying to be that guy, but he's not that guy.
And he genuinely loves Nancy.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. Yeah, you can definitely tell, but he knows
he's not right.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, but because you get a little hint of that in episode 9. You'll see. He looks at her and he gives that look like, damn. But he knows like I can't.
Right.
She's good with who she's with.
Right.
Obviously Jonathan. But like I said, my initial thoughts, I absolutely liked it. I probably have to watch it a couple more times to give my love, say I loved it. But I'd say it's a little notch down from season 1. Season 1 has
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. The one thing I can give it that this just enhanced the story. Like if you watch season 1, you go straight to season 2, you just feel like you get a whole cohesive piece. Because technically, season 1 ends on a cliffhanger. You don't know what's going on with Will. This solves that problem. What's going on with Will? That's the
it's 1 year between the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2, but it doesn't necessarily feel like that, and that's a good thing. It doesn't feel like a whole lot of time.
It ends like that too. It ends on Christmas.
Yeah.
It ends on Christmas, just like the last season did. So technically, you're right. It's like a whole year after. So I absolutely love that. I'm ready for you to watch. Just let me know if you watch episode 9 and call me, bro. I want to talk about the way it ends, and I want to get to what we think gonna happen in the next season. We can't talk about that now because he didn't watch episode 9. So we're gonna end this review for Stranger Things 2. What else we want to talk about?
Any news to talk about?
Just some little minor stuff that I really didn't want to talk about for real. I just really wanted to get the reviews out the way. Because this is the most important thing that happened went down this week. Thor came out and Stranger Things streamed this week, so there's nothing really else I really want to talk about. There's some minor stuff came out, like we talked about the Infinity War stuff that released. I wanted to talk about the DC stuff, what's going on with them. Obviously, Justice League comes out within the next couple weeks. I'm gonna try to get him on to do the review. If that doesn't happen, but I'll probably do a single review. We'll talk about spoilers like we did on Nerd Talk. We'll probably do it like that. Henry Cavill has came out and said that DC has made mistakes, but not in a neglective way. He said, I think in an article he said like even if Marvel existed, DC would still have these mistakes. If Marvel didn't exist, DC would have these mistakes. And remember we talked about it a couple days ago. The reason why it's like that because Marvel is its own studio. DC is not its own studio. DC is the back property and Warner Brothers is the distributor. They distribute the properties. They distribute the films, so they are in control of what goes on with certain things. Regardless of DC having a president, and stuff like that. They have to foresee everything and release it.
Right. The difference is with the MCU and Disney. Disney runs everything, they pay for everything, but they allow Marvel to do their own thing. Warner Brothers is not like that with DC. Warner Brothers wants to be hands-on, and it's like, you're the reason why the DCU is
the way it is.
Is the way it is. They're finally starting to dig themselves out of that hole.
I think Wonder Woman, they see that
Wonder Woman was a huge step in the right direction.
They see how to do it. And one thing is it's funny that we say people don't even know that Disney owns Marvel because you never see a Disney logo in front of Marvel. You never see. You never see Walt Disney Pictures presents.
You don't even see the word Disney until the end of the credits.
Right, exactly. And that's the one thing I think that kind of brings DC back is that they do have a big studio like Warner Brothers in front of them. They don't have it's not DC. It's not DC first. And that's the one thing is they've made mistakes, but I think they're still trying to gradually fix the universe. And the one thing I said, I told everybody, I said they have Flash. Flash can, with a speed of how fast he goes, can change the whole universe. And we obviously know they're doing Flashpoint, so that's the one thing that can change everything. They can restart everything with it.
They're waiting to see how Justice League does before they move forward with Flash. They're still going to do Flashpoint. The story is dependent on
how Justice League is received.
Justice League is going to do because basically Flashpoint. If you haven't read Flashpoint is basically a Justice League story. It's just
technically. If you didn't see the animated movie, it's my favorite animated movie.
Yeah, it's just that Flash is the focus of that story, but it includes the entirety of the Justice League.
Exactly.
And they're trying to see how well this ensemble cast will do before they move forward with another movie that has an ensemble cast.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing I probably want to talk about, if anything, was that comment, because everyone's hyping over it, like, oh, why Henry Cavill come out saying this? I'm like, he's not saying this. He's not saying it in a neglective way. He's saying it like he understands where they're at and where they're going. He doesn't, he's not saying it, oh, DC's been doing bad things all this time, blah, blah, blah.
And the thing is, he's not saying anything that we didn't already know.
Exactly.
He's just affirming it.
Exactly.
He's not throwing anybody under the bus.
Exactly.
He's just affirming that DC has made mistakes.
Exactly.
We are currently rectifying those mistakes. And it bothers me when
the only thing people have to say is that because Marvel was there. That's the only thing, and that's the only thing why people give it more flack is because they have another superhero property that is doing well. That's the only reason. Is that so? That's the one thing I don't understand. Why can't they have people like us where we like both? What's the problem with liking both? But that's a separate video, because we're going to rant about that, because that's something I don't understand. I like both properties. Yes. Both properties have their flaws. They both have their bad movies. Blah blah blah. Why can't we just like both? Like, I like Batman versus Superman, and I like Civil War. I love both those. I don't love Batman versus Superman, but I like both those properties. I probably love Civil War more, but I like both those properties. I don't fault one for existing. I don't do that. I don't hate on one because I love the other. I don't do that. If I see a bad movie, I see a bad movie. Right. I enjoy Suicide Squad, but I don't think it's really a good movie. But I did enjoy it.
The thing is, people, especially Marvel fans, why can't DC do what Marvel did? Because they're completely different characters.
They're totally different worlds.
Yeah, DC can't do what Marvel is doing. Just look at the animated movies. Even the animated DC. The DC animated universe feels completely different than the MCU. Even it's just there are basic principles that you have to have when moving forward with a cinematic universe. You have to establish the laws of that world.
Right.
DC didn't establish the laws of that world.
Exactly.
And they're flying by the seat of their pants or whatever. Marvel had an established foundation. Iron Man was their cornerstone. Iron Man 2 was basically setting up the laws of that world. That's when you started seeing cameos from people that were going to appear in other movies.
And it's funny that I've seen another video where they're showing Easter egg that stuff was already there. The Captain America shield was already in the first Iron Man movie. It's in the background, but you never notice it. Yeah. It's already there when he's changing out of his suit and Pepper walks in on him. Yeah. It's in the background already. It's sitting right where he's working.
No, I knew
the prototype is in the background.
Yeah, I knew that.
But a lot of people didn't notice that. But I mean, stuff like that has already been there. But like you said, they didn't know that. But they didn't know they was going to lead to Infinity War. They really didn't know. That's why the way Marvel feels is that's why they're trying to solve some of the little continuity errors, like when they brought in when they brought in Spider-Man, they said, oh, the kid from Iron Man 2, that's Spider-Man. Right. They're just trying to, like, okay, we're gonna this is where Spider-Man's been all this time. He's been there, but he, we'll replace that with that. Or even like, let's say with the Infinity Gauntlet, we're gonna do that. This is gonna fix that. Thor Ragnarok, okay, that's fake. Still stuff like that. And I do agree with you. DC, they start with Man of Steel, but I think with the backlash from it was a kind of mixed-sided. A lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't like it. So they didn't know if they were gonna, obviously it was a success box office wise, but you were right. They didn't know like what they were really trying to set up, and I think BVS was trying to be Iron Man 2, was trying to set up the boundaries, trying to understand what thing was going on. This is what.
And the thing is that people knew that going in. People knew that BVS was going to set up the rest of the universe.
Well, in the title, the Todd's called Down to Justice.
Right, and because BVS was so bleak, they were like, I don't want an entire universe of this.
Yep.
And that's where they made their biggest mistake by trying to force this movie's tone on the rest of the DCEU.
Because that's the one thing I do like. That's the one thing I can give a nod over Marvel, not that DC's trying to do. They see Wonder Woman doesn't feel like Man of Steel, doesn't feel like BVS. Each movie can have different tones. They don't have to have the same tone to fit in the same universe. Obviously, we have movies like Civil War, and we have Winter Soldier, and we have Thor Ragnarok. Those are totally three different movies.
Right. You got one, like you said, Winter Soldier and Thor Ragnarok. They got completely different tones.
Exactly, and it's still
but the rules of the universe are the same.
Exactly, and that's the one thing DC I'm hoping they do in the future, that you can have these different tones, but they still exist in the same universe regardless of the storylines or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I really want to talk about with that. I don't think anything else happened this week since Thor came out. Everyone's trying to talk about what's going on with Infinity War, Thanos and stuff. Because obviously, like we talked about earlier, there was no Infinity Stone, and we know Thanos is in that end credit scene. That's his ship, obviously. Yeah. So that's what the most thing people are talking about now this week. I don't think anything, no trailers came out. The one thing we're just more excited about is Justice League, the next superhero movie of this year. Superhero movie wise, and after that we got a lot of.
I gotta go get another Justice League shirt.
Yeah, I probably gotta go get a shirt too. I was gonna wear my BVS shirt, but I said nah.
Nah, don't do that.
But though the worst thing is it's probably gonna be a little chilly, so I ain't gonna be able to wear my shirt anyway. So, that's the same thing when I went to go see a Thor.
You know you gonna wear that shirt.
I ain't wear no shirt. I ain't wear no shirt to see Thor.
What you wear?
I just wore
Let's see this Thor.
That's what I'm saying.
This is Justice League.
Yeah. Because when I went to see the Avengers, both Avengers, I definitely wore a shirt. So
we ain't been waiting our whole lives to see Thor Ragnarok. Although Thor Ragnarok was a good movie, we haven't been waiting our whole lives to see Thor Ragnarok.
We've been waiting our whole lives to see Justice League, especially a theatrical version of Justice League.
Right.
So I want to get a hoodie. Cause I want to be able to wear a shirt and show my shit. That's the one thing I hate about when movies, like I hated when Star Wars came out. That's why I'm happy I had a Star Wars hoodie. But I hated when Star Wars came out in the code. I said, I got all these Star Wars shirts and I can't wear not one and show it. Because Star Wars usually comes out in the summer. The spring, right. So I can go at a 12 o'clock showing. It's not going to be that cold. But that's why I'm happy. That's why I'm like, I'm going to look for a damn hoodie. I got to go this week.
Like we said last week, like Marvel owns the summer now. So
yeah.
Star Wars is winter time.
Now,
that Harry Potter is not Christmas.
Do you think DC should keep their stuff in the summer too? I mean, out of the summer too. You think they should do like how they did? They did BVS came out in March or like April. They should do their stuff earlier or do it.
It depends on the movie. I personally feel like Justice League is a summer movie.
It's definitely a summer movie. I'm a little upset it didn't come out in the summer. I think November is a little bit too late.
I think November feels like a Batman time.
That's definitely a Batman time.
It's cloudy and rainy. And dark.
Justice League is all the characters are kind of dark, so it kind of makes sense. But
I wouldn't say dark. They're serious.
You know what I mean? But Justice League is a big summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
It's like the Avengers. It should be in the summer.
I
understand why they're doing it in November. I understand why they're doing it.
If it was up to me, I would do movies like Superman and Wonder Woman in the springtime.
Yeah.
Justice League in the summer.
And Batman. Batman like in September, October.
Yeah, Batman and like Green Lantern would be in the fall.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd even go as far as doing a Christmas Batman movie.
Christmas, somebody put up a tweet saying they count Batman Returns as a Christmas movie, and I lost my mind. I said,
really? I'm done.
I mean, it does have Christmas themes in it. It has Christmas themes in it. So
I'm done. We're not having that conversation.
That's another conversation. The holidays are coming, and I do want to talk about that.
You know what? And you know what? I am excited about watching Christmas movies this year.
Me too.
I'm very
Me
excited.
too. Yeah, that's me and Steph's favorite holiday. So you already know we about to decorate the house. I'm about to be playing Christmas music probably non-stop. I'm about to be watching Christmas movies, man, all the time, man. Cause
absolutely.
It's funny because you've been seeing on Facebook all the posts about people saying it's November 1st. There's November 1st, but Christmas stuff is everywhere. Like they're already playing Christmas music in stores.
That makes me mad. They just completely disregarding Thanksgiving.
Well, Thanksgiving is like
Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving.
It's not marketable like Christmas. You can't market Thanksgiving.
That's because people don't buy. That's the thing with Christmas. Is that Christmas is just everybody want to make money.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But
and it's understandable.
I get it, but you can't just ignore Thanksgiving. Like nobody has said anything about Thanksgiving, and it makes me mad.
People wait till the last minute for Thanksgiving. They wait till the week before. Come on, and me and Steph, we was at her granny house, and that's the first thing she asked. She asked about Thanksgiving, like before Halloween. And then she even said it. They're gonna wait till the last minute. I said, she right, because everybody gonna wait till the last minute to say anything about.
Like I understand doing certain things, like starting layaway in
Christmas shopping
in October.
Early.
I get that having the Christmas trees in the back of the store. Don't put Christmas trees in the front display on November 1st. That's just so disrespectful.
What store? We was at Michael's.
Yes, I was just getting ready to say that.
That's the first thing.
The first thing you see is Christmas trees
everywhere. I said,
I'm like, come on, like it ain't never that deep.
I think it wasn't even Halloween yet, and I think I saw it was like a day before Halloween. It was like the 30th or not the 29th.
It was the one on Chagrin, right?
No, I went to the one out in Menor.
The one in Menor?
Yeah, but
the one in Chagrin.
It's probably the same thing.
The one on Chagrin is the same. It's the same way. I was so mad.
But since we are on that subject, I do want to talk about that. We are probably gonna do more, like I did with October. I do want to talk about more Christmas things. I'll probably be reviewing Christmas movies on my channel as well. Probably be doing that. Just for some of my favorite Christmas movies I'll be talking about. I'll probably be reviewing Home Alone 2, The Grinch. I'll probably be reviewing some of my favorite Christmas movies. But I probably will be talking about Christmas-esque things on Nerd Talk too as well, like just random topics like we did with Halloween and stuff. But
just as a like a precursor to what we're gonna do, what is one underrated holiday Christmas movie of yours?
A very underrated one?
Yeah. One that's really good that nobody talks about.
The Polar Express.
Polar Express.
I don't think people give that movie the recognition that it deserves. At the point in time it came out, too, the animation was pretty good, the performance was pretty good, the music was good.
I've only seen that movie one time.
You see?
Yeah.
I think that movie is very underrated. Like I said, people don't talk about it as much. But another film that I think is a good Christmas movie is Christmas with the Cranks with Tom Hanks.
I've never seen that.
With Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis. That's a really good Christmas movie.
I've never seen that.
That's a really good. You'll have to see it. It's basically them just going through a lot of things going on around Christmas. It's pretty funny. Tim Allen is pretty good in there too. But that's probably another one. But then another I'll probably give you is the second Santa Claus. The second Santa Claus 2. That's a very underrated one too. We're talking about Christmas shit. It's already November. That's probably. But see, that's why I want to talk about that stuff probably more into the season. But that's another one. Santa Claus 2.
2 in particular I'm thinking of is Rise of the Guardians. That movie is fantastic. Nobody talks about it.
I didn't even think about it. I was thinking about an anime movie. The first thing that popped in my head was Polar Express. But that's a good one. Rise of the Guardians is a perfect one. But it's like, is it marketed as a Christmas movie?
Yeah, it was marketed as a Christmas. I mean, you can watch it for any time
of
year.
Because was it marketed as a Christmas movie?
It was though. It was.
I think it came out around that time, but I knew you can watch it any time though. It wasn't like like
because it has the Easter Bunny and you can watch it during most holidays, but it was marketed as a Christmas movie. And the other one, I just had it in my head. I just had the movie in my head. Jack Frost.
Wait, Michael Keaton?
Michael Keaton.
I want to say it's underrated.
That's underrated.
People know Jack Frost.
Who talks about Jack Frost?
Other
than us.
I mean,
nobody. That's a good one. That's a great.
That's a good movie.
That's a great
movie. It's very sad too.
It is sad. I cried. I definitely cried.
That's a Michael Keaton performance people don't talk about. That's fun.
It was great.
That's the Michael Keaton performance. I think I would say that's definitely the second thing I saw him in. The first thing I saw him was Batman. The second thing I saw him was that. No, Beetlejuice. Never mind. Beetlejuice probably was the first thing I saw. Beetlejuice was the first thing I saw.
Yeah. But
that ends our episode of Nerd Talk. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We talked a lot about Thor, Stranger Things, just random things like we always do. The next episode, I don't think Justice League don't come out till 2 weeks, so next week we'll talk about whatever news comes out within this week, and then the next week we'll talk about Justice League. We might have to do the whole thing talk about Justice League just because the anticipation for it. Yeah. Probably next week we'll talk about the anticipation for it, what we think is gonna
next week will be DC related. Yeah. Because this week was pretty much Marvel related. So next week it'll be DC related.
Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Please slap the like button. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of Thor Ragnarok. And around this one. Peace.